Step number one to getting your first 1,000 Instagram followers in 2024 is making sure that you're actually giving Instagram permission to suggest your profile to people that might be interested in it. And if you've never logged into Instagram from a desktop, then you probably don't have this feature turned on. And that would be a massive mistake because it makes it way easier for people in your niche to actually find you. In fact, this creator just went from struggling to growing to gaining over 60,000 followers simply by turning this feature on and posting consistently. So here's exactly how you do it from a desktop. All you have to do is actually log on to Instagram. You want to come up to edit profile, and then if you scroll down right here, you're going to see this right here. So essentially what this allows Instagram to do is to suggest your profile to people that might be interested in it when they follow somebody else that's in your niche. And having this turned on is going to make you automatically gain more followers on Instagram. But that's not the only thing you need to do if you want to get more followers on Instagram, because the Instagram algorithm has recently changed for 2024, and you need to make sure that you're changing 1, the type of content you're creating, 2, type of engagement you're getting on your content, and 3, I need to make sure that you're not making 3 massive mistakes that I see small accounts just like yours make every single day in their Instagram bio, because it destroys the amount of people that actually end up following them. But before I can share all that with you, I need you to smash that subscribe button. If you want to go quicker on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, I literally upload a video every single day about how to grow on these platforms. In addition to that, I just created a free Instagram growth course. You could get it, the pinned comment below. It's 100% free and shares with you a bunch of secrets that you'll never hear on my YouTube channel. So what are you waiting for? Go to the pinned comment and get into that right now. It's literally 100% free. So when it comes to actually creating the right bio on Instagram, you need to make sure that you're not doing these 3 things wrong. First one, you want to avoid any acronyms within your Instagram bio. All it's going to do is confuse people, and if somebody doesn't know what that acronym means, it's going to drastically decrease the odds that they actually end up following you. The second mistake I want to make sure you're avoiding is not having too many emojis. You can use a few emojis or 1 or 2 emojis, but I wouldn't have 5 emojis or 10 emojis, because again, all you're doing is confusing that person. And then the third thing you need to make sure that you're doing is not niching down way too far. I see way too many people, and you might be a victim of this, that you niche down so far. Like, I teach stock traders how to trade stocks so that they can make money from their parents' bedroom. Well, not that many people are trying to trade stocks from their parents' bedroom, so as a result, you just drastically decrease the amount of people that are actually going to end up following you. And I see so many people do this, especially in the fitness space, the affiliate marketing space, and the cooking space, because all of you try to niche yourself down way too much. And what ends up happening is you're not getting the views, you're not getting the followers that you want. And it's because Instagram is trying to find those very, very specific people to show your profile to, and there's not that many of them on Instagram. Instead, what you need to make sure that you're doing in your bio is, 1, you need to make sure that the first line clearly states your niche, and you should leave it kind of broad. And you want to make sure that whatever keywords people are going to be searching for, your ideal viewer that is, they show up in that first line. The second thing you want to make sure that you're doing is keeping it really, really brief. Don't tell them everything about you, or don't list a ton of different accolades that you have. Instead, just keep it simple. Tell them exactly what you do, something else, and then give them a reason to follow you. Your call to action needs to be your third line on Instagram. And if you don't have a call to action, well, guess what? You're drastically decreasing the amount of people that actually end up following you, because if you don't tell people to do it, you're going to get half or even less than the amount of followers that you should have. So look at how many followers you have right now. Without a call to action, you would probably have double those amount of followers had you simply added a call to action into your bio. But those aren't the only 2 things you need to do. You also need to make sure that you're creating the right content and optimizing for the right engagement, because if you're still trying to get people to like or save your content, you're actually making a huge error in 2024, and you need to make sure that you're adapting to the new metrics that Instagram's actually looking for. And if all you do is ask people to save or comment all the time, well, guess what? You're probably also missing out on followers. But I'll share exactly what I mean by that in just a little bit. Because the type of engagement that you need to be going after is going to be drastically different depending on whether you have something to sell or if you don't have something to sell. If you don't have anything to sell immediately on Instagram, you need to make sure that 60% of the time you're asking people to follow you, and 40% of the time you're asking people to share your content. In fact, 1 share on Instagram on average could be worth 400 views, anywhere from 200 to 400 views, depending on who's sharing that piece of content. So guess what? The more shares you get, the more views you're gonna get. But you don't wanna only be focused on sharing, because if you only focus on that, like I see a lot of creators do, you actually don't get people to follow you, and then you're actually leaning way too far in one direction where you're getting a lot of reach, but you're not getting followers from that new reach that you're getting. Now, if you are trying to sell something, you need to ask for engagement in a totally different way. Instead, 60% of the time, get people to follow you, 20% of the time, get people to comment for some type of free deliverable, and then 20% of the time, get them to share. Remember, you don't want to do any of these things too much, but it it won't hurt you if you use the follow CTA more frequently than a share or comment CTA. And anything else you need to throw out the window right now, because I see way too many creators right now ask people to share, comment, save, follow, like, and guess what? That person ends up doing none of those things. Instead, you should only have a single call to action in every single video that you're creating, and all that should be getting somebody to do is follow, comment, or share depending on what your actual goal is. Now this brings me to the last and most important part of this video, which is going to determine whether or not you get 1,000 followers on Instagram by the end of the week, and that comes down to TLF. The T stands for topic. Essentially, you need to make sure that the content that you're creating is on a topic that people are actually watching on Instagram. And the easiest way for you to figure this out is to do a search for something, because now when you do a search on Instagram, it changes the Reels feed into whatever you're searching about. So if you do a search for homes for sale in Dallas, you're literally only going to see content based off of that. Where if you go back to your regular Reels feed, you're going to see a bunch of random content based off of your interests. So what you need to make sure that you're doing is making sure that that is something that people are actually engaging with, because if it's not, your content isn't going to get any reach on Instagram, and I bet that you're guilty of this. Or you might be using the wrong format when it comes to your posts. Now when it comes to the format of your post, you need to make sure that you're focusing on 2 formats only right now. The first one is going to be a carousel, but in specific, a 2-slide carousel. The first slide needs to be a meme or an infographic, and then the second slide needs to be a video that goes with that meme or infographic. And then the second type of content I would create is a reel. Now remember, there are 3 types of reels that do really well right now. The first one are gonna be meme reels that you transform into something related to your niche. The second are gonna be really short reels where you try to get somebody to go to your description and read, or there's a bunch of text on the screen and you try to get them to read all that text. Ideally, those reels should be 5 to 7 seconds long. Or the third type of reel is when you're actually gonna be telling a story about something. And remember, if you're creating a video longer than 5 to 8 seconds on Instagram, you need to make sure that you're changing the background, there needs to be sound effects, and you need to have props and things like that coming up. Otherwise, you're not gonna engage the viewer, they're gonna swipe away, it's gonna destroy your audience retention, and what does this result in? It results in Instagram actually not pushing out your content. Now this brings me to the last letter that you need to be focused on, which is going to be the length of your content. Because remember, if people are watching content on the right topic and it's in the right format, but your video is in the wrong length, aka not in the length that your ideal audience interacts with, guess what's gonna end up happening? You're not gonna get the views that you want. So please, before you post anything on Instagram, make sure you're doing research to actually determine whether or not that post has a chance to do well on Instagram. Because if not, you're completely wasting your time by posting that thing on Instagram. Now at this point, I know that you're serious about growing on Instagram, and I know that you understand how big of an opportunity it is to grow on Instagram in 2024, and that's why I personally want to work with you. In fact, I want to look at your account and tell you everything you need to do differently to get guaranteed more followers on Instagram in 2024. If that sounds interesting to you, well please keep watching this video, because I've got a special offer for you, but I can only work with so many people. The opportunity to grow on Instagram and this organic reach we're currently seeing are not going to last forever. And there are 2 things holding you back from seeing the growth like the creators that I share with you in this video. The first one is that you haven't implemented the tips that I just shared with you. And the second is that you haven't gotten into my Instagram mentorship program yet. That's literally going to guarantee that I help you get more followers on Instagram in the next 30 days, or you get your money back, 0 questions asked. In fact, the average person that's gone through this program in the last 30 days has gained over 25,000 followers, and nobody has ever gone through it and gained less than 1,000 followers if they implemented every piece of advice that I share with them. Now, since you're still watching this video, I'm gonna assume you're probably above average. So the odds of you gaining over 25,000 followers are probably quite high. And if you want results like that, go to the link in the description below right now and sign up, because there are limited spots available. I'm gonna be telling you exactly what to post, when to post, what hashtags to use. I'm gonna send you new post ideas, and I'm gonna critique your content to guarantee that you get more growth on Instagram in the next 30 days. It doesn't matter what your niche is or what your background is, this program is gonna help you get followers more easily and quicker, so that you don't have to spend endless hours trying to figure out the things that I already know about exactly how to grow your account. In fact, I just helped this creator in the program and they gained over 100,000 followers in just 30 days. I helped this creator, they gained over 150,000, and this creator over 200,000 followers. If you want results like that and I want you to be my next success story, go to the link in the description below and sign up right now, because every single day that you wait, it's only gonna get harder to grow on Instagram. It is easier than ever to grow right now, but you need to take advantage of this opportunity. And what's better than an opportunity where you're literally gonna grow on Instagram or get your money back with 0 questions asked? Again, there are limited spots, so go to the link in the description below and sign up right now. Otherwise, I strongly suggest you check out the next 2 videos I put up on the screen, because they're the videos YouTube thinks you should watch next. Thank you so much for watching.